Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Ask Profit only on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Malika Mishra, a show that gets all your stock-related queries answered. So do not forget to call us on the numbers flashing on your screen. You can also write to us on WhatsApp, both the numbers of which are available on your screen. And today we're being joined by Prashant Tapse on the fundamentals and Sundar Kewat on the technical. So welcome both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And starting with the queries, let's go across to our first query written to us by Nishant. He holds, one second. He holds a couple of shares of Jyoti Labs. And before we go to the quantity, Prashant, can I please get a sense of how Jyoti Labs looks like to you?
On a fundamental basis, yes, I think with respect to the valuations, very much comfortable to have a fresh buy call at these current levels. And with respect to ratios, with respect to other industry aspects, Jyoti Lab looks very promising right now for me at the current levels to start accumulating.
All right. And I think I have gotten the information on how many shares Nishant holds. So Nishant currently holds 100 shares of Jyoti Lab at 420 rupees a piece. And Sundar, technically speaking, would you suggest Nishant to continue holding his shares of Jyoti Labs?
Yeah, Malika. So I would recommend him to hold the share. Now on day time frame, the stock is into a sideways range and not, moving much around from 13th May, say. And currently also the stock is into a very, very narrow range. But yes, I could see that there is a support at 320 level, and from there itself the stock could bounce back. So I would recommend the viewer to hold the stock, and the stock could reach till 400 level if this support level is strongly held.
All right, all right. And we will also take up another WhatsApp query now. Sumit has written to us from Qatar, and he wants to know whether this is the right time to enter Bajaj Finance. Prashant, taking this question to you, Bajaj Finance has really stood the test of times and has been quite resilient as compared to its other peers. What's your sense, and would you recommend Sumit to enter at these levels?
Yeah, before understanding Bajaj Finance, one should know about the NBFC space. I think the way how RBI has started giving a lot of liquidity push to the NBFC sector, I think that would be giving a lot of benefits for the sector to grow very faster than the any other traditional banks. So in this sector, again, Bajaj Finance stands out to be the market leader with the market cap almost near 5.8 lakh crore. So I think to have a fundamental view on a long-term basis, yes, I think every dip has to be bought. But if you want to buy at this current level, I may be not sure where there can be some kind of profit booking attempt can be seen because of the recent rally in the counter in the industry. So buy on every dip, long term looks good.
Okay. And since Sundar, according to Prashant, perhaps the right strategy to invest in Bajaj Finance would be a buy on dip strategy. I'd like to know from you, what exactly do you think is an attractive level for one to enter and take fresh positions in this company?
Yeah, Malika, even I agree with Prashant that at this type of counter is a buy on dip counter. Now the support level for this stock on daily time frame is at 8,700 level, and below also there is a support level at 8,300 level. Now the stock could correct till this level, and we could get some easy entry on this kind of counter. Again, Malika, I would like to highlight over here that the 200-day moving average and the current market price has a huge disparity. So I would recommend any viewer to, if they are planning to buy, then they could buy a dip at 8,700 first support, and this and below also is a support at 8,300 levels.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that. And now we have Shabir's query also with us. He's written to us on WhatsApp from Mumbai. He currently holds 20 shares of Tube Investment at 2,900 rupees a piece, and the stock is trading around 2,936. In fact, was down about 1.4% in trade today itself. And he wants to know whether he could continue holding this for the long term. Prashant, coming to you on this, how does the company look like to you? And especially, my question is because it has seen a drastic drop down from October of 2024 levels.
On a valuation perspective, yes, the looks very expensive. The stock is trading at 80p and with respect to price to book valuation of 10x. So not comfortable to have a very fresh buy position at this point of time. My still view would be negative or look for some kind of downside trend going forward. If you see, even the Q4 earnings were not so impressive. The stock EBITDA margins have been declining from last 2-3 quarters. Last June was around 12% EBITDA margin, and this March was almost like 7%. So there is a drastical 500 basis point down in terms of EBITDA margin. So there is some kind of business, pressure with respect to the business outlook. So overall, if the investor would like to hold it for long term, then I can advise him to wait for some more time. The stock may go down towards another 10% from the current levels, and then buy more to average the cost for long term.
Okay, all right. And thank you so much for that, Prashant. And viewers, do note that this is your best chance to get all your stock-related queries answered. So do call in on the numbers flashing on your screen. And especially because not only the fact that you can talk to us directly, but our experts can take these questions live and give you the best investment advice out there. Now we're being joined by Surya. He's our first caller, calling in from Hyderabad. So hi, Surya. Good evening. Thank you so much for calling. What's your question today?
Yeah, actually I have bought 1890 shares of TTML.
Okay.
So average price is 94.5.
Okay.
So I would like to know about the fundamental and technicals. It is for short-term view.
Okay. Okay.
I have
And
bought this almost 2024 September 2nd. I have bought this.
understood. Okay. And did somebody recommend this to you, Surya?
Not recommended. I have only purchased. So actually it's a Tata one, and also I think it is a good one to grow. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. All right. So Surya from Hyderabad holds 1,891 shares of Tata Tele Services, and he bought them at a price of 94.5 rupees back a couple of months back, in fact last year, and the stock has only dropped to 71 now. So Surya, as a consequence of that, is sitting on a loss of 43.28 rupees. Prashant, I'd like to take your view here. What's your sense on the stock, and especially the kind of business that it hails from? Do you think it's giving a tough competition to the other peers?
Obviously, yes. The way how Jio has expanded in India from last 7-8 years, so it has already captured a lot of market share. I think the lion market share of more than 50% has been managed by Jio and then Bharti Airtel. With respect to the enterprise solution model, I think the Tata Tele was the leader few years back, but now Bharti Airtel as well as Jio is managing the huge market share in that. So that is the biggest competition. And then even though this competition has led Tata Tele to go into losses for many quarters, so that would be the reason why I'm not comfortable to have a buy position at current levels. He has taken already a high risk, high return category stock. This price may still go down, but every year this stock gets a lot of attraction whenever there is a telecom industry news in the market. So if he has a right risk to take, average it at this current point of time, and then whenever it gets to its buying price, then exit would be the best option for him.
Okay, okay, all right. So therefore, Sundar, what according to you should be the ideal stop loss for Tata Teleservices?
Yeah, so Malika, the stop loss should be placed around 65 level where the previous major support lies. And apart from this, Malika, if you see if the stock breaks above the 81 level, then the stock could further rally till say 100 rupees, because from there itself the major resistance lies. So I would recommend the viewer to place a stop loss below 65, and if the stock price crosses above 81, then I would recommend him to add till 100 rupees target.
Okay, okay, understood. And now we have Santosh calling from Coimbatore. Hi, Santosh. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good
I hope you
evening.
guys are doing well.
Yes, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Doing great.
Please go ahead with your
my
question.
thank you. My query is, I'm certainly bullish on a healthcare prospect. So I was looking into two stocks, Aster DM Healthcare and Narayana Hrudayalaya.
Okay.
So I would like to invest on about 50 to 75,000.
Okay.
Can you just tell me, can you guide me towards these two, or you have any better picks for the future? And I'm a long-term holder.
Okay, all right, all right.
And my horizon is about 3 to 4 years. So I want to also do it on a staged manner. So yeah.
Okay, okay. let's get to know what our experts have to say. So Santosh from Coimbatore has a corpus of about 50 to 75,000, and he's keen on investing in the healthcare space, and he's narrowed down two stocks, Aster DM, which is on his radar, and the second one is Narayana Nudalia, and he wants to know which among one of these would be a better investment choice. Sundar, coming to you on Aster DM first of all, how do you view the stock? And the stock has seen quite an uptrend from March of 2025, rising from 395 to now about 560 odd levels and plus. I would like to get your comment on this kind of momentum that you're seeing.
Yeah, Malika, I agree with you on that part. The stock has given a strong upward rally, and if you see from 15th May, the stock is into a kind of sideways trajectory and not showing much traction. But again, the moving averages, that is 50 moving average and the 20 moving average, are playing important role in this trend. So I am positive on the stock, but yes, on dip, if we get this stock, then we should add this stock. And I would not be surprised if the stock reaches the new high till 720, because there is the stock will break to its uncharted trajectory after 608 levels, and it could reach target till 720. Now, again, Malika, this is a kind of trend changing stock, and I am very positive on this counter.
Okay, so very positive on Aster DM. And Prashant, I'd like to take your view on Narayana Nudalia, which is the other stock that our investor was interested in. And just like Aster DM, this also has had an upward rally. In fact, from Feb of 2025, it has climbed to about 1800 odd levels, and since then has been trading in sort of a range-bound manner. What's your sense on this particular company, and do you think it's a good healthcare play?
Yes, obviously, I'm very much positive on the healthcare sector in India right now. Among these, both Narayana Rudala would be my preferred bet at the current levels on a fundamental basis. When we compare the P ratios, the price to book valuations, ROCs and ROEs, so when we compare Aster DM and Narayana Rudala, I think Narayana Rudala gets a lot of higher ranking on a fundamental basis for a long-term basis. Again, both on technical charts as well as on the fundamental ratios, I think Narayana Rudala can make a better pick for him in his portfolio.
So Narayana better than Aster DM is what Prashant is suggesting. And now we have Ravi from Hyderabad. Hi Ravi, good evening.
Yeah, very good evening.
Good evening. What's your question?
Yeah, my query is on Canara Bank. I'm holding 473 shares of Canara Bank, bought at 115.
Okay.
So should I average? I mean, is it good time to average, or shall I wait for further correction?
Okay. And when did you purchase these shares, Ravi?
I bought 1 week ago.
Okay, a week ago. Understood. And for how long do you want to continue holding them?
Yeah, I can hold for next 1 year.
Okay, understood. So Prashant, Ravi from Hyderabad holds 473 shares of Canara Bank at 115 rupees a piece, bought just a week ago, and in the past 1 week the stock has dropped down to 111 odd levels. In fact, it was down about 3.5% in trade today itself. I'd like to get your sense on Canara Bank, especially not just because Ravi is interested in it, but I've also noticed that in the past 1 week, especially after RBI's announcement of infusing more money in the banking system, Canara Bank has emerged as one of the top banking names that investors are drawing their attention towards. So please give us a holistic advice on Canara Bank if possible.
Overall, on a fundamental basis, I think yes, in the banking space, Canara Bank looks very good in terms of valuations. But again, today there was a news with respect to fundraising activity through QIB. So I think that would bring some kind of pressure in the price. So there can be some kind of selling pressure in the stock with respect to the QIB price model. But again, the client wants to hold it for 1 year. So I am very much comfortable to have a very 1 year long-term view on Canara Bank with at least buy and dip strategy. Again, I think the stock can again go back to its 10500 levels. So again, those would be the range where he can start adding more this stock in his portfolio, and he should have a view of at least 1 year from the current levels with a target of at least 135, 140.
Okay, all right. So Sundar, I'd like to quickly ask you a question on Canara Bank itself. Since our viewer bought them at 114 odd levels and it is now trading around 111, and as compared to its 52-week high, it's not really far from those levels. So according to you, how much more of an upside is left in the next 6 months to 1 year?
Yeah, so Malika, I am positive on this stock, and I could see that the stock could reach its new high. Now, I will not be estimating a target that a stock could reach 150 or 170, because if you see at 130, there is an important resistance level. From there itself, the stock has beaten left, right till 79 levels. So we need to wait and watch and see at 130 what the stock price do. If the stock price tends to be giving a fresh breakout at this level, then we could expect some higher target. But yes, currently in short term, I am positive on this stock and I am expecting a short term target until 130 levels.
Okay, all right. Now we have Murli joining us from Bengaluru on the phone line. Hi Murli, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for taking up my queries.
Most welcome.
Thanks for the excellent and detailed coverage which you do on this query section.
Thank you so much for that compliment, Murli.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, really nice.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
I bought the TBOTEK, a travel platform,
Okay.
travel booking platform. The 600 shares at the rate of 1,319.33.
All right.
Now that the global tension, Iran, Iraq war, Israel war, when it will end, there are issues affecting to some extent, not fully, global travel. Can I switch out your domestic focus to hospitality, like Royal Orchid or a Chalet Hotel or a Park Hotel, which is totally domestic focused compared to Indian hotels, which has hotels in Israel and Iran also. So is it a better switch where which will be least affected compared to a travel platform booking outside and the hospitality sector, the right business outside from India, Indian companies?
Understood. Very interesting question, Murli. Experts Murli from Bengaluru holds 600 shares of TBO Tech at 1,319.33 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 1,286 odd levels and was down about 1.14% in trade today. And now that geopolitical tensions are at its peak, especially given how Israel and Iran are currently in amidst a war situation, I'd like to know from you whether it would be a good idea for Murli to look inwards and perhaps invest in a company in the hospitality and travel space that is focused on Indian travel relative to what TBO Tech does. So, Prashant, I'll take this question to you first.
Yes, again, the client has already done a good research on the company, but I would like to place some kind of highlights on the company again. So the company is majorly into an online technology platform which will provide global travel inventory with respect to airlines, hotels, and all. Obviously, he has pointed it very well with respect to the global geopolitical tension. So that is bringing a lot of travel agency, travel business under pressure. Even local markets have seen such kind of travel pressure since the April 22 incident happened in Kashmir. So this sector would be under pressure for a very near-term point of view. There will be like another 10-15% correction in this sector as well as the business which are into. So I would like to avoid this stock right point of time because of two reasons. One, the industry may see some kind of pressure with respect to travel movement, and then valuation still a concern for me. That stock is trading at 60p, which is very expensive for me. Even price to book valuations are like more than 10, very expensive for me. So the stock can go back to your near term low, almost near 1100 rupees per share. So at that point of time, a trader can take a risk.
Okay, all right. So, number one, it is expensive, and two, also perilous given geopolitical situation at the moment. So, therefore, Prashant, I'd like to know, would you then recommend Murli to invest in the hospitality space instead of tourism? And he mentioned Royal Orchid. So, what's your sense?
Again, hotel sector very much bullish from the last many quarters from the current levels. I think ITC hotel would be a better pick for me because of the lower asset model. Again, in the small mid-cap companies, again, Lemon Tree would also be a good alternate for him to invest in. So these are the two stocks which we are recommending to our clients. So can be considered for investments.
All right, all right. And now we have Yasin. He's calling us from Gujarat. Hi, Yasin. Good evening.
Ma'am, I recently bought 500 shares of GSW Infra.
Okay.
And at the rate of 295.
Understood.
And my time horizon is 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, so please tell me what I do. If market falls further, should I add more?
Understood. Got it. Got it. So Yasin from Gujarat holds 500 shares of JSW Infra at 295 rupees a piece. The stock is now trading around 302, and Yasin is already sitting on a profit of over 3,000 rupees. Sundar, taking this question to you, technically speaking, what are some factors that you see for Yasin to be able to continue holding, and when do you think he should add more shares of JSW to his portfolio?
Yeah, Malika, on day time frame, I can see that the stock is resisting to a falling trend line, and I could see that there is a kind of momentum pickup which has been occurred from mid February, and currently the stock is into a sideways range. Now, this kind of structure looks very attractive to me. Now, I'll tell you the reason why. If the trend line breakout happen at around 320 level C, so the stock could ignite till its fresh high of 360 levels. So I would recommend the viewer to add more stock at 320 level if the stock price gives daily close above 320, and my target will be at 360, which is its a previous year high, and the stop loss should be placed at below 275, which is the recent low. So this is the view from my side.
Okay, all right. Now we have Vishal calling from Punjab. Hi Vishal, good evening.
Hi ma'am, how are you?
I'm good, Vishal. Thank you so much for asking. What's your question today?
Ma'am, I have 903 shares of DSE Limited.
Okay.
Earlier I was having 301 shares. After the split and the bonus, it turned up to 903.
Okay.
So the average price that came is right now is about 800 rupees.
Okay.
So I want to know whether the stock is overpriced right now. Should I sell it or should I hold it? And in case if I hold it, what is the best price to buy to add more these stocks?
Understood. More of BST itself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Prashant, Vishal from Punjab holds 903 shares of BSE at 800 rupees a piece. That's its average price, and this is after the bonus issue, of course. And Vishal is already sitting on a profit of over 17 lakh rupees as he bought them at an attractive range. Now the stock has climbed up over double times and is now trading around 2,711 rupees. He's asking whether 800 as a share price is expensive, or should he continue holding, and what exactly should the strategy be to add more shares of BSE, because I think he's off the perception that it is going to give him more profits.
Obviously, yes, on a long-term basis, the stock will deliver him a good return. But again, on a short-term period, I think the stock may come down towards the 2,400, 2,500 levels. So why again there is a lot of pressure in the stock and the because of NSE getting into listing permission. So I think there will be some kind of competition in terms of valuations. But again, with respect to the ASM, the stock is now into that kind of category. So there will be a little bit of volume consideration, lower pressure on the stock. I see the price may go down at least 10% from the current levels. So my advice would be at least book some profits, not 100%, but at least 20-30% of the profits, and then 2,500 would be a level where he can restart adding the stocks which he would like to add more.
Okay. So Prashant, just clarifying here, if the stock has gone under the ASM scanner and you sort of forecast that the stock price might see some pressure and fall down by 10% or so, don't you think then it is an attractive time to also buy more shares of BSE?
Yes, but not at these levels. Pressure would go down towards 2,500. So that would be a good level to start accumulating more of these stocks.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. And now we have Keshav calling from Coimbatore. So hi Keshav, good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for this call.
Most welcome. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. This is regarding CDSL.
Okay.
520 shares I have, and average price is 1065.88.
Okay.
So I'm planning to, I don't know. Right now, the CDSL price is coming down. So I'd like to know for the next 6 months whether I can hold it or can I sell it now, book the profit and come out and then buy it later again.
Okay. Keshav, can I please confirm the price from you once again? What price did you buy these 520 shares at?
1605.88.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. And you want a 6-month view on this?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Sundar, taking this question to you, Keshav from Coimbatore holds 520 shares of CDSL at 1,605.88 rupees a piece. And he has a rather short-term view on this. Now, CDSL, very technically speaking, did see a swing from low to high now. And I believe it is on its high trajectory back from the kind of fall that it saw in December. But I'd like you to comment on the upside, and for the next 6 months, what do you think would be a good target price?
Yeah, Malika, I agree with you on that part. The stock has created a higher high pattern starting from 18 March, and it has given a trend confirmation also. So the short-term trend look positive to me on charts. And if you refer the weekly time frame is also showing me that the stock is into a positive territory. Now, talking about the 6 months view, then I would be, kind of cautious at 2000 level where the 52-week high is placed at, and at that level I would wait and watch and see what prices are doing, and if the prices are closing above that level and sustaining it, then only then I could expect higher targets from this kind of counters. Otherwise, what happens is that the stock reaches at the 52-week high, and then suddenly profit booking comes, and a sharp dip comes in this kind of counter. So I would recommend a short-term target till 2000 level, and at that level I would suggest the viewer to wait and watch what exactly the stock is doing.
Right. And actually, carrying forward that wait and watch strategy and taking this question to you, Prashant, I'd like to know that simply because CDSL and stocks like CDSL are in a way a reflection of how much concentration the stock market has gotten in terms of the investors present, and with geopolitical uncertainty and a lot of macro uncertainty in the picture. We also saw a reflection of that in the Amphi data that released in April, where we saw some kind of shake-up in the number of investors now heading towards the market. Do you think CDSL is, from that context, a good play to invest in right now?
Obviously, yes, it's a proxy play for Indian capital markets. The way how new clients get added, so that will be very much reflected in the business model of CDSL. But my view is different here again, because the another competitor NSDL is also looking to get listed in the exchange. Both have a similar depository model, but again, one is focused on small investors, and second would be on the institutional investors. So again, with respect to valuations, again, very much comfortable to have a fresh buy position at current levels and hold for long term because of the growth pattern in the new client addition quarter on quarter. So near term, there may be some kind of pressure, but again, 6 months to 12 months, I think the stock will do better and reach to new all-time highs.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And viewers, we'll have to slip into a short break, but keep sending in your queries. We will be right back on Ask Profit, only on NDTV Profit.
India's healthcare landscape is evolving. And this transformation is not just a goal, it's a necessity. Join the movement towards a healthier India. NDTV's India Health Mission Season 2, Blueprint for Health Vision 2047, brings together the country's healthcare leaders, policymakers, innovators, and change makers to shape the future of Indian healthcare. So let's unite to build a healthier and more equitable India by 2047.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
One question can change everything. The big question.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Ask Profit only on NDTV Profit, a show that gets all your stock-related queries answered. And if you want to reach out to us and call us with your stock-related questions, so please keep these numbers handy. These numbers are going to help you reach out to us and talk to us live. So please do not wait and call us right away. Today we are being joined by Prashant Tapse on the fundamentals and Sundar Kewat on the technicals. So welcome both of you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And now we have Ram, who's on the phone line waiting for us from Chennai. Hi Ram, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Good evening. What's your question today?
Yeah, my query is regarding I'm holding around 500 shares of ITC.
Okay.
So now I am looking for ITC hotels, whether I can start accumulating ITC hotels also. So a couple of days back I bought around only 10 stars.
Okay.
So I want to know, like, I'm already having ITC, so can I have ITC hotels also? Will it give like good profits in future for like 3-4 years later?
Okay, all
I'm
right.
okay to invest another 50,000 to 1 lakh on this stock.
Okay, okay, all right. Prashant, Ram from Chennai holds 10 shares of ITC hotels at 216 rupees a piece, and the stock has dropped down to 213 odd levels. And he wants to know whether it would be a good idea to go ahead and buy more shares of ITC. And I think this is because he wants to play the hospitality sector well. So therefore, do you think this is a good, strong hotel stock to stay invested in? And he is willing to put about 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees in this.
Yes, I continue to be very optimistic on the hospitality sector, and ITC hotel would be the preferred pick in the stock in the sector. With respect to valuations, very much comfortable to start accumulating on these levels as well as on the lower levels up to 200 rupees. So these markets, these volatile markets, are giving him such kind of opportunities to add a quality stock to his portfolio. But the view should be at least 6 months to 12 months from the current levels. With respect to targets on the fundamental levels, I think 240, 235 can be a near-term target for him, and a long-term 280 plus.
All right. Thank you so much for those targets as well, Prashant. And now we have Anupama calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Anupama. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I'm having more than 2,500 shares of Punjab National Bank at the rate of 116.
Okay.
And I can hold it for a long time.
Okay.
So I want to know the technical view.
Okay. Anupama, before I take this question to our guest, I'd like to know when exactly did you purchase these shares?
Actually, more than 6 months back.
Okay, okay. And did somebody recommend this to you?
I thought banking is a good sector, so went for the investment.
Okay, okay. Got it, Anupama. Sundar, our viewer Anupama from Bengaluru has reached out to us to understand whether her investment in PNB is a good or a bad one. So she holds 2,500 shares of Punjab National Bank at 160 rupees a piece and is sitting on a loss of about 1.33 lakh. And this, mind you, is a loss that she's incurred just in the past 6 months. I'd like to ask you, now that PNB is trading at 107 odd levels, when do you think it will be able to surpass the levels at which at least Anupama bought them, so she can break even from that perspective? And do you think it is a strong banking player?
So Malika, firstly, I would like to narrate the stock. Okay, so from 2nd May 2024, the stock has been beaten left right from 140 levels to 93 levels. And if you see the action from December 4 to till date, the stock is largely into a sideways range. Now, to be precise with the range is from 110 level to 92 level. And I could see that from past 2 to 3 days, the stock is taking a resistance at this level. So I would recommend the viewer to exit the stock. Now the reason is that the stock could test its 92 price, and apart from this I don't see any kind of recovery until unless the stock gives a fresh breakout above 110 level and closes, and that too closes on weekly basis. So I would recommend the viewer to exit this counter. And apart from this, like in the same sector, I have one a counter name as Indian Bank. Now, if you see the Indian Bank chart, the stock has given a fresh breakout from its 600 level, and currently it is into a retesting phase. So I would recommend the viewer to add this stock, because this stock look positive to me, and it could reach its new high till 700 and 800 levels in coming say coming 2 to 3 quarters. So I'm positive on Indian Bank. Rather, I would be positive on PNB Bank, because PNB Bank could be a laggard for banking sector.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that. And now we have Rahul from Gujarat. Hi, Rahul. Good evening.
Hey, hi Malika. Good evening.
Good evening
to panelists.
Thank you so much for being so chirpy, Rahul. Makes my day. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I just want to ask about the strategy on M&M.
Okay.
I bought these stocks in this week only.
Okay.
With the price of 3098 and having the stocks of 400.
Okay.
And initial 3 days was a good momentum, but a couple of days the geopolitical and I think profit booking on Thursday, now it is almost 3% negative. So just want to understand from the panelists what should be the strategy, and I bought for the short term these stocks.
Okay. All right. Let me try and wrap the question for you. Experts, Rahul from Gujarat holds 400 shares of Mahindra and Mahindra at 3,098 rupees a piece, and he bought them just a couple of days back, but is sitting on a loss of about 36,000 and more. And the stock has seen some kind of pressure recently, given how the rare earth minerals crisis unfolded. Also, geopolitical tensions may be playing a factor, and this is despite the good, results that it showed. Also, therefore, Prashant, taking this question to you, do you think it's a good idea to stay invested in shares of Mahindra and Mahindra, and especially because it showed a range-bound movement for a very, very long time?
Yes, on a fundamental long-term investment, I think M&M would be a right candidate to be invested in the automobile space because of the diversified product portfolio, which is into every automobile sector. So, but again, short-term, there will be some kind of pressure you rightly mentioned with respect to the EV negative aspect with respect to rare earth magnet as well as EV sales under pressure. But overall, the results in Q4 as well as the month-on sales numbers were really good. But geopolitical tensions are bringing some kind of pressure on the stock. So near term, you may see some kind of hurdles. Again, the stock may be under pressure or here and there around 3,000 rupees per share. But again, 3 to 6 months, I think the stock can really deliver better and even make new highs. So my recommendation for him would be hold the stock for 3 to 6 months with a target of at least new high.
Okay, okay. So Prashant, would it be right to say that that Mahindra and Mahindra as a stock would give you the kind of margin, margin safety that one would require in their portfolio?
Obviously, yes. Being a large cap and a diversified automobile company, the margin of safety is higher in the stock rather than any small automobile companies.
All right, all right. And now we have Shiv Kumar calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Shiv Kumar. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. What's your question?
I hold around 450 shares of Equitas Small Finance Bank.
Okay.
At the rate of 34 rupees a piece.
Understood.
So should I hold it on for the long term, or should I switch to a larger bank, or even a mid-cap IT company like Coforge or Persistent or Emphasis kind of a company?
Okay, all right. And Shiv, I'd like to know from you, when exactly did you purchase these shares? Because the share price is exactly doubled from the time you bought them.
Yeah, actually I bought it at the IPO allotment itself.
Okay, okay, all right. So, Sundar, I'll take this question to you first. Shiv Kumar from Bengaluru holds 450 shares of Equitas Small Finance Bank at 34 rupees a piece. And as I already mentioned, the stock is trading around 68, which is exactly the double at which he bought them. What would you recommend Shiv Kumar to do?
Yeah, so Malika, I would recommend the viewer to hold. I will tell you the reason why. Firstly, the stock is trying to gain some kind of positive momentum, and from April month itself, the stock has tried to push its recent resistance at 72, but again failed due to some kind of reasons. And now after that, if you see the stock is holding on to its 200-day moving average, so I would recommend the viewer to hold this counter. And if the stock price crosses above the 72 level and above it, then I would recommend the viewer to add on to this counter. And my expected target for this stock will be at around 85, where the major resistance lies.
All right, all right. And Prashant, very quickly, I want to take a fundamental analysis on this one as well, because it belongs to a space that has seen some kind of pressure and concern of analysts and investors for a long time. Do you think Equitas Small Finance Bank is a good player?
On a fundamental basis, again, I too have some kind of concern with respect to the small banking finance growth in the sector. Not specifically having a positive view on Equitas or any other small banking finance, but again, the way RBI is giving a lot of liquidity push to all the NBFCs, banks, and even small finance banks will give some kind of good growth. Short term, there may be some kind of spike towards 75, 80 rupees. That can be the only best way to get the target. And once the prices comes near to those levels, my advice would be to book profit. Obviously, he's already making 100% profit from the current levels. So for a long-term view, not so comfortable to have a small banking finance in my portfolio.
Okay, okay, all right. And now we have Pradeep from Bengaluru joining us on the phone line. Hi, Pradeep. Good evening.
Good evening to everybody out there. Madam, I am having 50 shares of Goldium International.
Okay.
Purchased at 144 rupees in January 23. Now,
okay.
it has made significant profit, but I wanted to know whether I should hold it for a long term, for a period of say 18 or 24 months further. I'm basically a long-term investor.
Okay, all right, all right. Prashant, Pradeep from Bengaluru holds 50 shares of Goldiam International at 144 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 359, and Goldiam International is primarily engaged in the business of exporting and manufacturing gold and diamond jewelry to global retailers. Especially now that gold prices have skyrocketed, do you think companies like Goldiam International are here to benefit out of them, or is something opposite going to happen?
I think the sector would be very much in benefit, despite gold being going to new high. This kind of business model with respect to B2C and B2B, they do get good margins out of that. So again, they are going to sell their designs and towards the retail sellers. So I think business model is really great with respect to valuations. Very much comfortable to have a very positive view on the current level as well. But again, he has already made a good profit, almost 100% from the current from the buying levels. So my advice would be book some profits whenever the stock goes 100% plus in the profit levels. Again, there can be a good opportunity to rebuy those stocks at the lower level. So hold it for long term, but again, book some profits.
Okay, okay. And Sundar, also taking your technical expertise over here, if one had to draw a straight line on how the stock prices moved from February of 2025 to now, it would really be just so straight and range bound. I'd like to know from you if you are seeing any kind of potential upside in Goldiam International anytime soon.
See, looking at a day time frame of this stock, I could make out is that if the stock price breaks above the say the major resistance at 430, then there could be some kind of positive momentum. But apart from this, I would recommend the viewer to place a stop loss below 340 level, because if this level is taken out, then Malika, I would not be surprised that the stock will test its recent low, which was placed at 250. So yeah, this is the view from my side.
Okay, okay. Thanks for that. And now we have Shankar calling from Mysuru. Hi, Shankar. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question. How can we help you?
Ma'am, Kalyan Jewelers, India, right time to buy correct level, ma'am?
Okay, got it. So, Sundar, I'll take this question to you. Our viewer wants to know if this is the right time to enter Kalyan Jewellers. Kalyan Jewellers was sort of flat in trade today, trading around 518 rupees a piece. And it has been, again, just like the other stock that we were talking about, Goldiam International, this has been range-bound as well from January of 2025. I'd like to know if you're seeing any signs of this going back to its 700, 780 odd levels.
Malika, first of all, I would like to narrate this kind of counter. So, firstly, if you see the stock is trading into a broader range from 591 level to 425 say level, and if you see from 11 March, the stock has given a kind of mean reversion move till its recent resistance, and now the stock is resisting to that level only. To be precise with it. Now, the correct level to add is not at the current market price, but to be precise, at 430, the stock could bounce back. And I would not recommend the viewer to jump into this stock at current market price because the stock could correct till 430 C odd level. And yes, if there is a fresh breakout happening above 600 level, there could be a multi breakout, say the recent resistance level and the 200 moving average resistance level. So I would recommend if the stock price crosses above this level, breaks out and closes above this level, then only then the stock could reach to till 800 level. Apart from this, at current market price, the stock should be ignored.
Okay, okay. Then fundamentally speaking, Prashant, I'd like to get some clarity from you. Kalyan Jewellers has shown a good profit growth in the past couple of years. However, valuation-wise, because it trades at a high PE, it looks a little bit on the expensive side. How would you suggest our investors to go about strategizing their investment in Kalyan Jewellers?
I think wait and watch would be the strategy for the viewer right now, because again, I agree with my colleague saying the price correction can come into the stock. If you see Q4 earnings, there is some kind of pressure in the profitability, and that may continue for coming quarters as well. So valuations, you rightly pointed out, trading almost very high, near 70p, and price to book valuation of almost 11 times. So I think if the investor would like to have an alternative stock, so Titan Jewelers can be an alternative stock where there is a diversified portfolios of many other businesses, including the gold business. That can be a better stock for him to get some kind of good traction in the short term period. But again, if you want to stick to Kalyan Jewelers, I think wait and watch for a level of 450 from the current levels.
Okay, okay. Understood. And now we have Abhijit calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Abhijit. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How can we help you? What's your question?
Yes. I'm holding Cholamandalam Investment and Finance Company.
Okay.
Around 17 shares, 17.
Okay.
At the price of 1635.
Understood. Okay.
So I'm having 6-month view in this stock.
Okay, understood. And you want to know what could happen in the next 6 months to Chola Financials, right?
I was looking at it because Bank Nifty was flying high in recent time. So I purchased this with that intention, but somehow there is a loss going on.
Okay, understood. Prashant, our viewer Abhijit from Hyderabad holds 17 shares of Cholamandalam Financial Holdings at 1,635 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 1,553 and saw a dip of 1.76% as well. I'd like to know what's your sense of this particular company, and he bought them especially when Bank Nifty was touching its record highs just a couple of days back, and he must have thought that this would have been a beneficiary of the kind of uptrend that we were seeing, but it has acted quite the opposite. So give us your comments, please.
Yes, on a short-term basis, I think NBFC will see some kind of volatility, obviously, in the current market situation. But again, on a valuation front, very much comfortable to have a buy and hold position for a medium term as well as on the long-term basis. If you see in the NBFC space, this is the second largest in terms of market cap, almost 1,30,000 crores of market cap, when the Bajaj Finance is trading at a 5,80,000 crore market cap. So very much bullish on the sector. Valuation very much comfortable from the current levels to buy and hold with at least a short-term target of all-time high, which is around 1684.
So Prashant, just very, very quickly, because we have so many queries on NBFC and you've already established that right now maybe the sector would be appearing to be a bit volatile in nature. So would you recommend that perhaps this is the right time to enter and stay invested for a long time instead of a short one?
Obviously, yes. So the way how RBI has given a lot of liquidity, a lot of beneficiaries going towards the NBFC sector. Bajaj Finance would be my preferred pick in the sector again. Second would be Shriram Finance, again index stocks. So these are the two stocks which we are actively covering in the NBFC space and very positive on the short term as well as on the long term.
All right, all right. And now we have Senthil. He's calling us from Coimbatore. Hi, Senthil. Good evening.
Hi, madam. Good evening, madam.
Good evening,
Madam, I
Senthil.
have
Yes.
1,000 Salazar Tech shares.
Okay.
So for longer perspective, I bought it. So can I hold for long perspective? Kindly just suggest, madam.
Sure, sure. Sundar, I'll take this question to you. Senthil from Coimbatore holds 1,000 shares of Salazar Techno Engineering at 17 rupees a piece. The stock has plummeted to 8.37, which is more than a 50% drop in his share price. And this, this downward swing that Salazar has been going through came about in September 2024 when it was trading around 22 rupees. So it has fallen drastically from that kind of high. What is your sense, technically speaking?
Yeah, Malika correctly said the stock has been beaten left and right from 33 level and currently it is trading at 8 rupees now. There is no major sign of reversal I can see on daily chart as well as on weekly chart. But yes, again, if the stock price closes below 7.8, yes, say, so the stock would correct more. So I would recommend a stop loss at 7.8, yes. And also, Malika, I would, says the viewer to ignore this kind of stock because this is a kind of stock which, doesn't give that much returns and also money is stuck into this kind of counter. So yeah, that is it.
Right, right. Okay, all right. And now we have another caller joining us, Prasad from Hyderabad. Hi, Prasad. Good evening.
Very good evening, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call.
Most welcome. Please go ahead. How can we help you?
Ma'am, I have bought a couple of months back Union Bank shares at 133 rupees.
Okay.
And I waited for some time and then it went up to 155 and then it came down to 146, I think, today. I just wanted to know what would be the price. Can I average it now or do I have to hold it back? Because I'm holding it for, I thought I would hold it for short term, but now I think I'll extend it to long term. That's what.
Okay.
For 1 year.
Understood, understood. Prasad from Hyderabad holds 300 shares of Union Bank of India at 133 rupees a piece, and the stock is trading around 146 and was down about 2.83% in trade today. And Prasad is also sitting on a profit of very close to 4,000. Do you think Prasad can go ahead and extend or expand his profitability?
First advice would be book profits at the current levels. I think the PSU sector will see some kind of pressure and competition with respect to the NBFC where the liquidity is very high. For me, this stock has already rallied a bit on the basis of what the RBI has given a lot of liquidity from last 2-3 months. So with respect to valuations, I think again it is trading at an average of 5 years high. So there can be valuation correction from the current levels, and you can see some kind of more selling pressure in the counter, at least for 10 to 12 rupees from the current level. So I think booking profit would be the first advice. The company is good with respect to valuations. Again, I think we can re-enter the stock once the stock goes down to 130 or 135 levels.
Okay, okay. Now, very quickly, we have Parvinder on the phone line from Delhi. Hi, Parvinder. Good evening. Namaste. Parvinder, are you there with me? Okay, so no issues. We had some issue with the phone line, but Parvinder from Delhi had reached out to us regarding his 100 shares of HDFC Life, bought at 691 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 752 and has also given Parvinder a profit of 6.19. He's asked 6.19 thousand. He's asking a short-term view on this one. Therefore, Sundar, I'll take this question to you. What's your sense?
Yeah, so Malika, I would recommend the viewer to book profit and exit this counter, and I'll tell you the reason why. Now, the stock has given an upward momentum from 13 March and it has given a fresh breakout on 23 May. But if you see the price action, it is clearly seen that the resistance breakout has failed and the candles have closed below the resistance. So I would so this is not a good sign for this kind of for this stock, and I could see that the stock could test till 690 levels. So I would recommend the viewer to book profit and exit this counter.
Okay, all right. And now we have Ananta calling from Goa. Hi Ananta, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
My question is that I'm holding 20 shares of Bharat Petroleum.
Okay.
And I'm at a profit of 1,646 rupees. I would like to know if I should hold it back or sell it off.
Okay. Did you buy them at 1,646?
No. That's the profit.
Okay, no. So could you help me with the price at which you bought these 20 shares?
Yeah, my average buy price is 230.56 rupees.
230?
Yes.
So you bought 20 shares of BPCL at 230 rupees a piece?
Yes.
Okay, understood. Prashant, quickly taking this question to you, Ananta from Goa holds 20 shares of BPCL at 230 rupees a piece, and a lot of these stocks in the same space are undergoing some kind of pressure given how oil prices are volatile at the moment. What's your sense on the counter, and what should Ananta do?
I am expecting crude oil to go towards 80 and 82. So if this is my assumption, then PPCL, SPCL, IOC will do some kind of negative trend because of the pressure in the cross margin. So my advice would be again book some profits again from the current levels and re-enter the stock whenever the stock goes down to nearly 300 or even 280 levels. If the investor or a viewer is a long-term investor, again buy on dip should be the strategy. But currently sell and book profits.
All right. So on that note, Prashant and Sundar, thank you so much for joining this session of Ask Profit and answering all the queries of our viewers with such patience. And I think I will take the moral story back that if you're interested in investing in the NBFC space, then perhaps this is the right time and it's a long-term play. And on that note, viewers, also keep these numbers handy so that you can continue to reach out to us. But we have Sanjana Chauhan joining me at the moment to tell us what Profit 360, the next bulletin, will exactly entail.
Thanks, Malika, and glad to see that you had a great show on Ask Profit. We're going into Profit 360 right now, looking at our top focus this evening. One, of course, is the strikes between Israel and Iran. We understand that loud explosions were heard once again in Iran. We'll be covering that on the show, and of course the impact that it will have and already is having on the global markets. We'll also be taking a closer look at the tragic Ahmedabad plane crash. Let's remember that none of the passengers, none of the people on board, save for one, have survived. But now we also understand that the agencies have in fact recovered the black box. All of this and a lot more after this very short break. I'll see you on Profit 360.
India's healthcare landscape is evolving. And this transformation is not just a goal, it's a necessity. Join the movement towards a healthier India. NDTV's India Health Mission Season 2, Blueprint for Health Vision 2047, brings together the country's healthcare leaders, policymakers, innovators, and change makers to shape the future of Indian healthcare. So let's unite to build a healthier and more equitable India by 2047.
Imports become the exception rather than the norm, and increasingly we do almost last year, for example, of the contracts that we signed of record 2,09,000 crores, 81% was awarded to the domestic industry. Our intent is to manufacture in India, preferably with design also in India.
I am so elated to be on the same screen as the Defense Secretary, and I get a chance to talk about what he said.
In certain areas, like for example, artillery guns and armored vehicles, or in some categories of missiles like the BrahMos and the Akash, we've come of age.
What Defense Secretary Sir said is 100% true, and today private industry can really increase their involvement in R&D.
I am very proud to say that we make, in our categories that we have been supplying to our defense forces, some of the best platforms in the world.
One question can change everything. The big question. Bold, direct, uncompromising.
A loud explosion heard near an airbase in Iran's Hamadan. Sirens sound in North Israel. This after Iran retaliated and launched 100 drones towards Israel after it attacked Tehran's nuclear and military sites, killing the country's military chief and leader of Revolutionary Guards. Authorities recover the black box of the crashed Air India plane in Ahmedabad. It will now play a vital role to ascertain the cause of the tragedy. The NDTV Profit newsbreak confirmed the DGCA has directed Air India to reinforce safety inspection of its Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner aircraft. The airline is now required to conduct a one-time pre-departure check on flights leaving India. Nifty and Sensex fall more than 1% for the week as Nifty snaps its two-day gaining streak to close below 24,750. Mid-cap index also closes the week lower. Global markets also see an impact of heightened geopolitical tensions. Wall Street tumbles on rising energy prices. Brent crude futures also surged more than 8%. European markets also plunged, remaining strongly in the negative territory.